The Cottoni era on the Charlesonia is the story of Charlesonia through its creation, its spot as the main world power, its struggle to maintain that position, and finally, its gradual decline. In this series, we will cover all of these topics, but today we will be going over the first, the creation of Charlesonia. It is late Season 6. The Republic, a faction created 4 seasons prior, has stood as the only nation in the server since its creation. At the head of the Republic was a user, the owner, by the name of JSH555. He had created the faction after the fall of the previous world government known as the Empire all the way back in Season 3. With the growth in the player base during this time, it was inevitable that a new faction would arise among those who despised Republican rule. This very thing would end up happening when a user by the name of Zetibus created his slooth empire in the swamplands just outside of Republican territory. The Republic itself had only ever mobilized against small rebellions that directly threatened it, so the idea of crushing this small, innocent faction was completely out of the question. This, however, did not stop the public from calling for the slooths to be destroyed. As a result, the people mobilized themselves into the Grand Army of Charles after a meeting in the Ratway. The very same night, they went throughout Republican territory and forced everyone to join their ranks. Those who refused were killed or robbed. This insurrection of sorts spelled the end of the Republic as it had been established. Everyone, including the faction's founder himself, was involved. The Republic's existence and way of being were now obsolete, and with that, a new faction would need to rise to take its place. After the burning of the Slooth village and the destruction of the Republic, a small farming company called the Charles Trading Company rose to replace the ashes of the late Republic. The Grand Army of Charles would combine with the Charles Trading Company in order to form the faction of Charlesonia. After the creation of the faction, the full focus of the entire nation was set on eliminating the slooths once and for all. It was found out that someone inside of Charlesonia had rebuilt the Slooth village as Zeta was in hiding, and so began the hunt for the traitor. It was discovered fairly quickly through some incredible spy work performed by the late Boba Fett, God rest his soul, that the traitor was a scoundrel by the name of Dave. It was discovered that Dave had been pulling the strings, manipulating both factions to continue the fight as opposed to coming to peace terms. After this realization, the Charlesonians and the slooths came together and confronted the great manipulator once and for all.
Where's he at? Where's he at? Where's he at? Where's he at?
I found him.
Don't kill him. Just.
Shit.
Where's he at? Where's he at? Which one is he? Which one is he? He's over here. He's over here. Get it. Get it. Get it. Get it. Look at this. Oh, this is cancer. Oh god. First real fight. Oh god.
Where is he?
He's gone. He left.
He managed to narrowly escape this encounter. However, his mission had failed, as the slooths and Charlesonians came to peace. As the 6th season began to meet its end, the great manipulator showed himself one more time. He convinced one Tristanimator to join the server and rival the Republic with his new faction, the Doggos. They were able to convince the slooths to join them, and things were looking like they were going to escalate to full-scale war. For an unknown reason, however, the Doggos went into hiding and were never seen again. The great manipulator, Dave, also went into hiding until the start of the 7th season, and everyone else began preparing for the end of the 6th season and the start of the 7th. Nobody could have ever imagined what was about to happen. Stay tuned for the new chapter where we'll go over the events leading up to the most influential conflict in server history, the Great Spawn War.